Very often the front edge of a shelf in a cupboard becomes damaged. Very often it's the tape in the front which becomes brittle and chips off, but in this case I think it's caused by moisture. So I'm just going to show you how to repair this. In most cases the shelf is attached to the sides, but this type of repair that I'm going to show you, you will be able to do it when the shelf is still in the cupboard. But in this case I'm going to remove the shelf because, as you can see, it is loose. This is the stuff I'm going to be using. It's available in pretty much every hardware shop that I've been to. And the instructions exactly how to do it are on the front of the box. First thing we have to do is heat up the iron. I always put it on a medium temperature, nothing too severe, nothing too hot. So the first thing we're going to do is take the old tape off and just press the iron there and wait for it to heat up a little bit. And as soon as that's done, which is probably like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, you start looking for the edge of the tape. Once you have that little edge loose, you can just carry on heating it up all the way down, and it comes off pretty easy, as you can see. I then normally get some sandpaper. This is 40 grit, but it's well used, so either like 40 or 60 grit sandpaper. And just sand the edges just to get all the imperfections and some of the old glue off. This particular shelf is I think it's 16 millimeters thick, and the tape is 23 or 24 millimeters wide. So when you place it in position, make sure you have a little bit of an edge on the bottom and a little bit on the edge of an edge on the top. So it's sort of placed right in the center. Then you get your iron and you press it down for 5 seconds just to melt the glue, and you'll find it'll stick there. Let it cool down a little bit so it doesn't move, and then keeping the tape right in the center, just slide that iron down very slowly, putting a little bit of pressure onto the shelf, and you can continue all the way to the end. Just keep on putting pressure and make sure your shelf is clamped down nicely to a table. To trim the excess tape off, I just use a utility knife like this. It's not even a brand new blade. I've had it on for a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, and I prefer it like that. Anyway, I start off by cutting a little bit in that direction, and holding the blade absolutely flat on the top of the shelf. Don't angle it. It has to be flat. Just pull the blade towards you and it just trims the edge off. Then you turn the shelf over and do exactly the same on the other side. Very easy to get the excess off as well. Line your blade up with the side of the shelf and just cut downwards very carefully. After ironing, you probably will notice a little bit of a dirty grey mark on the tape, but don't worry about that. It is just stuff which came off the bottom of the iron. So it can get washed off, but I usually just sand it off. After cutting, these edges are very sharp, and so I normally get some sandpaper. This is 100 grit, and I just bevel those edges flat, just round them off. Then I use a finer sandpaper. This is 180, but I mean, I suppose you could go up to sort of like 300. It's just for the front to get rid of those grey marks, and a final finish along the top and underneath.